What's the worst secret you found out your protective parents were hiding? When my overprotective parents caught me sneaking back into the house at 2 a.m., they locked me in the basement for months because they said I couldn't be trusted to make safe decisions anymore. My parents had been paranoid about my safety ever since my older brother died in a car accident 3 years ago. Growing up after his death, I watched them install security cameras, tracking apps, and motion sensors throughout our house. By age 12, I knew they checked my location every 10 minutes, and knew they'd panic if I deviated from my routine. I practiced lying about dead phone batteries, created fake study group excuses, and had friends cover for me constantly. Every dinner included reminders about drunk drivers, kidnappings, and school shootings. Mom would check my pulse while I ate, monitoring my stress levels. Dad made me text photo proof of my location every hour. I lived in constant surveillance, knowing that one missed check-in would send them spiraling. When they caught me climbing through my bedroom window after sneaking out to meet Tyler, Mom grabbed my phone while Dad blocked the doorway. They'd been awake all night, tracking my phone's last location at the park before it died. They marched me to the basement and told me to sit while they figured out what to do. Hours later, Dad came down looking exhausted. "You'll stay down here where we know you're safe," he said. "You've proven you can't handle freedom, so you won't have any." They moved a bed downstairs and installed a lock on the door, bringing meals down 3 times a day. If they had to come downstairs, they'd lecture me about every teenager who died doing exactly what I'd done. Mom would show me news articles about missing kids, saying this was the only way to keep me alive. I had a bed, a small bathroom, and my school books. They said I could do online classes from down here. When I begged to go back to regular school, they showed me security footage of school shootings. Dad would sit outside the door reading statistics about teen mortality rates while I stared at the ceiling. Sometimes my little sister would ask why I couldn't come upstairs, but Mom would tell her I was sick and contagious. After 2 months, Dad announced they'd found a therapist who did house calls for agoraphobic teens. "She'll help you understand why we're doing this," he said. "Once you accept that the world is dangerous, maybe you can earn privileges back." He showed me the therapist's website, full of testimonials from parents who'd saved their children through isolation. "She starts next week," he said. I pretended to cooperate while loosening the screws on the tiny basement window. 3 months into my imprisonment, I heard my parents on a phone call upstairs about homeschooling paperwork. Mom was struggling to explain why I'd suddenly left public school. That's how I found out they'd been telling everyone I had severe anxiety and couldn't leave the house. That night, I finally got the window open enough to squeeze through. It was only about a foot high, just big enough for ventilation, but I'd lost weight from stress. I crawled out at 3 a.m. while my family slept, my body aching from contorting through the opening. I ran to my friend Emma's house. Her dad was a cop who'd always thought my parents were weird. When he saw me at his door in pajamas and socks, he let me in and called for backup while Emma's mom made me tea. The police went to my house with me to investigate, but Mom and Dad were ready. They showed officers my brother's death certificate, photos from his funeral, and printed emails from my school about my declining grades. "We're just trying to keep her alive," Mom sobbed. "She's been acting out since her brother died. We didn't know what else to do." The officers looked sympathetic until they searched the basement. They found something my parents hadn't hidden well enough: pill bottles, dozens of them, all prescribed to me by different doctors, all filled in the last few months. Antipsychotics, sedatives, anxiety meds I'd never taken. Dad tried to explain they were just in case. I became violent, but the officers recognized the pattern. They'd been doctor shopping, getting multiple prescriptions to keep me sedated. When they ran the prescriptions through the system, they found something odd. Half the pills weren't even real. They were sugar pills, placebos my mom had been ordering online. She'd been switching out my food with sedatives some days, placebos others, documenting my mood swings to justify keeping me locked up. She had a whole journal tracking my reactions, planning to use it for disability claims. The therapist Dad mentioned wasn't a therapist at all. She was Mom's cousin Linda, who'd lost her teaching license for inappropriate conduct with students. They'd created a fake therapy practice together, complete with a website and forged credentials. The police found emails between them discussing how to bill insurance for my treatment while keeping me isolated. They'd done this before, to Linda's own daughter 5 years ago. That girl had run away and never come back. They'd collected disability and insurance payments on her for 3 years before stopping. The detective thinks she might have figured out their scam and threatened to expose them. Now they're searching Linda's property while I'm staying with Emma's family. Full story on channel linked below.